Welcome back, guys, to day 2 of working on the Trex. So we are officially gonna start actually doing stuff to it. Today our plan is to change the transmission oil, but not only that, we're gonna figure out what's wrong with the transmission. So I believe what's wrong with it is inside there is this pressure valve. So basically when you shift your car, what happens is it produces pressure, and because of that pressure, that's what shifts it into the next gear. So what I'm thinking is that I could get into there, and then underneath the transmission there's the transmission pan. You drop that pan, you drain it, and inside of there is that pressure valve. And basically what I'm going to be doing is tightening that up, because after a certain amount of miles it loosens up, and that's what prevents it from switching gears. So I went and got myself some transmission oil. This thing takes 9 quarts. I got 8 quarts right here, but there should be some left over, and then plus I believe I have some extra chilling in the garage somewhere. And then I managed to find a filter, and this filter comes with the gasket and everything, so pretty excited about that. Actually I called a few different places and nobody had it, and then AutoZone, for some reason, they had a 1995 Isuzu Trooper filter in stock, so it's pretty rad. So right now I'm gonna jack this thing up, and I think that's it. Jack it up and then just start working on it. Basically what I'm gonna have to do is, after it's lifted under here, I'm gonna need to take off this transmission support, and then obviously these plates, and then once I do that, I'll be able to drain everything and take it all apart. So we'll see how that is. Also, guys, I have a quick question for you. I just picked myself up a microphone. I'm going to be streaming this to my phone, connecting it with the video. Let me know how that sounds. I'm pretty sure it's going to sound better than the GoPro mic. At least I would think so. So let me know about that. And other than that, let's get started on this thing. I'm going to go grab the jack. And actually, I'm going to go change first, because I'm definitely not going to be working in this. But let's get started. So that should be all right. It's a little bit crooked, but I had the extra supports just in case. But yeah, that seemed to work pretty good. So now I'm just gonna let the engine warm up just a little bit, so the transmission oil is warm, and then I can just get to the working part. So far we have gotten all the bolts out, almost, except for one. When I rock this, only a little bit comes out. So I think it's time, I think it's time I take out the other bolt, and then we just drop the whole thing. So this thing is still going to be full of some oil, is the tricky part. So gotta take out this last one right up here. So take out the last one, and then also support the pan at the same time. It's gonna be a little bit tricky, but but should be able to do it. If not, it'll just be really funny. Oh, it came loose, that's for sure. Oh man. There we go. Hey guys, so I'm just going to explain this next part real quick. I could not get the pan out whatsoever because the exhaust was in the way. So I decided I was just going to remove this section of the exhaust. And then when I tried doing that, the bolt stripped on me and I could not get this section off. So I decided I was just going to take a saw and remove the bolt, and then I'll just replace the bolt when I'm done. Yeah, it's completely off. Man, what a ridiculous bolt. Alright guys, check it out. I got it off. Now this bends. Yes! Oh my gosh! So got the pan all cleaned up. There's gonna be a little magnet right there in the corner. You're gonna want to pull that off, clean it up pretty well. This is gonna be catching all the like clutch shaving, stuff like that comes out of your clutch. So you want to make sure you don't lose this. Put it there for now. Now I can grab my little kit. Yeah, you just put it right around the edge, grease the edge, and that's basically ready to go back in. Basically, to replace these shift solenoids, there's these pins right here that don't come out. So the way to do it is you gotta take off this whole section right here. Yep. There we go, disconnected. Nice. Oh, looks like I did. This off. And I love loosening these bolts because it's almost like they're all covered in WD-40. They're all oiled up. So I took this off and basically I took off the shield that's on the bottom, and to get these solenoids out, there was these pins right here, and whoever worked on this car previously, or the mechanic who built this car, put in some janky little pin. This is, I don't even know what, he just must have found this in his shop and hammered it in. Probably spent 30 minutes trying to get these pins out. The real pins are supposed to look like this, a perfect cylinder, but that's fine. Anyways, I got the pins out. I'm sure you should never have to take this thing off. This is just in my situation because these pins are so bad. So now you basically just wiggle the solenoid out, and you gotta make sure that you replace one solenoid at a time. So I'm gonna go grab my new ones, and basically they're only different by a tiny little bit. So if you look at them, there are these little hooks, and they could easily be bent, and basically the only thing that differentiates both of these is by which way those hooks point. There we go. I got the new ones in right there, and I got the pins back in. See how they're both two different colors? Looks like he literally used whatever he had around the shop, looks like. So now I'm just gonna put everything right back on. I'm gonna put that cover back on, the other solenoid, and back onto the transmission it goes. What you're gonna wanna do is you wanna take this nut right here, and you wanna get it out to the edge. And then you're gonna take your torque wrench, and that's set to 40 inch-pounds. Again, that's inch-pounds. And then you wanna tighten this down to 40. Almost there. You want to make sure that nut's at the end. Right there. That's 40. Now, I'm going to swap to my other wrench. And now you want to loosen exactly 4 rotations. So I'm actually going to start facing that way. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. Exactly 4. Then you're gonna want a 13 and a 12 size socket. 13 is gonna be this bottom one right here. 14 is gonna be this nut that I'm turning right now. You wanna turn this nut down. You wanna hold the bottom with your 13. Go. And then grab it with your 14. There we go. And you're going to want to counter torque. So one left, one right. Tighten that down. Nice. Here we go. And we now reset that back to factory standards. All right. So I have everything in and tightened down. Now the pan goes back on. Let's hope it fits. We're done. At least I hope so. So I got everything back in. The transmission pan is all back on. All the skid plates, they're all on. There's a lot of them. I think there's 3 or 4 plates. Yeah, 3 plates. So everything is back in. And I hope I didn't put them in too early because I hope there are no problems. Honestly, if there's any more problems with the transmission, I think I'm just gonna do a transmission swap. They're only about 200 bucks for this car, which is kind of crazy, but figured, you know, do a little bit of that DIY. So I don't know, guys, cross your fingers. Let's hope this works. I'm gonna go pop the hood right now, and I'm gonna fill it up with the transmission oil, and just crossing my fingers that we fix the problem. Kind of excited. Let's get this going. Also, sorry about the mask. I am in Oregon, and we have been in a fire for about the past 3 or 4 days, and the smoke is getting really bad. I think our average index of air is like at 5, and right now we're at 500, so it's like literally 100 times as bad. Someone said 10 minutes is like smoking a whole pack of cigarettes or something like that. So crazy stuff out here. So I'm gonna keep this on. If I sound a bit muffled, I apologize, but other than that, let's get this thing filled up. And man, if it doesn't start, nah, I'm not even thinking about that.